Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya rabbal alameen. So here we are with our session number 221 for Quranic Arabic Grammar, in which we are learning about al-istifham. So let's start, my dear sisters, and I'm going to start with a quick review of the previous session, inshallah. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I expect you to answer them in the chat box. So let's start. What are the two haruf istifham? Hamza and hal. Hamza and hal. Hamza and hal, right? Hamza and hal. What are the i'rab for Hamza and hal? When it comes to i'rab, they are going to be la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. They have no i'rab. They have no place. They cannot be rafa nasab jar. They cannot be rafa nasab jar, right? They cannot be rafa nasab jar or jazm. Okay? They have no i'rab. Okay, because they are harf. Very well done. This adatul istifham, that is a harf, can enter a negative sentence. Among Hamza or hal, which one is going to be able to enter a negative sentence? Hamza, barakallahu fiki. Very well done. Hamza is the one that can enter a negative sentence. Can hal ever enter a negative sentence? What do you think? No, it will never enter a negative sentence. When it comes to Hamza and hal, which one is going to be before harf atf? Which one comes before harf atf? Very well done, Faiza. Yes, it is Hamza that is going to come before harf atf. And can hal come before harf atf? No, no. It does not have any sidara alal harf atf. Hamza has a sidara alal harf atf, which means that it is going to be present before harf atf, but hal does not have that. Very well done. Among Hamza and hal, which one can have a habar with ba zaida? Very well done, Faiza. Hal. Very good job, Alia. Very well done. Very well done. Now, the next question for you guys is among Hamza and hal, because in the last session, we only did Khasaisul Hamza wal hal, right? We just went over Hamza wa hal, right? So among these two, this one is only for tasdeeq. Only for tasdeeq. It is hal that is only used for tasdeeq. Very well done. Very well done. Now, the next question for you. Okay. So we have covered that as well. Let me just, open my slide. Okay. Okay. So what is one thing that is common between Hamza wa hal? They are both harf. Now just think about the similarities. They can both be used for tasdeeq. Very good job. Very well done. They are both harf. They are both la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. They are both used for tasdeeq. They both can be used for tasdeeq. What is the fourth point? They both enter. They're almost mostly in the beginning. They both can enter a positive sentence. They both can enter a positive sentence. They both can enter a positive sentence. Which one among Hamza or hal can be used for negation? No, it's not Hamza. Hamza cannot be used for negation. It is hal that can be used for negation as well. It can be used for nafi dimni, which is not a standard nafi. It is, ghair sarih way of negating a sentence. If hal is followed by illa, you will see that it has a connotation of negative sentence, right? It is hal that can have that can negate a sentence. Okay, hal can be used to negate a sentence. Is this clear to all of you? Right? You are that is Hamza does not have that effect. Hamza is not being used for negation. Hamza is not translated as negative particle. But when you have hal jazaul ihsan, illal ihsan, translate that. The reward of ihsan is not but ihsan, right? So you can literally translate hal as not, but Hamza cannot be translated, can never be translated as not, right? You are translating, in case of alam tara kaifa, you are translating lam as not, right? Is this clear to all of you? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So then, okay. Okay. So in the last session, we were learning about that, when it comes to istifham hakiki, which is a real question, it is of two types. It is for tasdeeq wa tasawwur, and for tasawwur, let me hide my slide. What are the particles that you can use for tasawwur? Hamza can be used for tasawwur. Yeah, Hamza can be used for tasawwur. And then all the rest of your asmaul istifham. You can just say your Hamza and asmaul istifham can be used for tasawwur. That will make things easy for all of you. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So, my dear students, this class is not going to work for you if you do not have time to go back to whatever has been taught in what you have missed. This class is only going to work for those students who are regular. They are able to go back to the recording. This class is not, you are not going to be able to answer any of the questions if you just come to the class and then the work is done, then you never go back. It's not for, it's only, if I'm teaching you something new, you have to see the first session so that you can understand whatever is being taught in the next session. So this is just, for the benefit of you, that please make sure that you go back to, if you have missed a class, please go back to the previous session, inshallah. Okay. So then I hope this is clear to all of you that for tasdeeq, Hamzatul istifham comes either without or is it's going to be Hamzatul istifham, kalam manfi, and sometimes you have learned in the last session that there may not be an there, right? But if I just take you back to this slide and I just you don't have anything and you just have to focus on this verse of Surah Al-Anbiya, verse number 62. أأنت فعلت هذا بآلهتنا يا إبراهيم? Then think about it. Don't think about any omission. Don't think about any hazaf. Just think of Hamza by itself. How can you treat this sentence if you were not given any information that sometimes may be omitted, may not be there, and the mu'adil may not be there? How will you treat this sentence? Is it going to be, I'm asking you, is it going to be tasdeeq wa tasawwur? It can be just simply tasdeeq, right? It can be taken as a tasdeeq question. Did you do this with our gods, O Ibrahim? Yes or no is an answer, right? It's going to be a tasdeeq question then, because it is without But some may say that this is, there is mahzoof, and sometimes you will find but there is no hamzatul istifham before, and there is no other particle before, and sometimes hamzatul istifham may be omitted. Keep that in mind, that this is an important information, that sometimes hamzatul istifham may be omitted. Okay, may be omitted. So just to keep things simple and easy for all of you, I am going to now take you to Asmaul Istifham. And you have learned Asmaul Istifham as ayu, kam, ma, man, kaifa, mata, yana, aina, and anna. Do you all remember them? Can you roughly translate ayu? Can you give me the translation of ayu? How do we translate ayu? Which, right? Which one? Very good job. How do you translate come? And come you have learned in detail. Yeah. You can translate it as how many. Very good job. How many or how much? Very good job, Afsha. Afsha, I'm very pleased with your performance on the test. If that is you, who did the test. I'm very pleased with you. Barakallahu fiki. Are you the same Afsha who joined when I did Surat Ar-Rahman? Alhamdulillah, tabarakallah. May Allah protect you. Yes, barakallahu fiki. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. And I'm very proud of all of you. Honestly, I'm very proud of all of you. But I'm just, because, I just picked her, because I wanted to let her know that, I keep an eye on my students. Yeah, and I do look at scores. Yeah, so I do look at, how everyone is doing, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and what we need to work on more. So inshallah, since our test is already done and it's going to close tomorrow, I'm going to review with you on next Saturday. Next Saturday, we are going to go over the test, inshallah, the quiz, everything. We will go over that, what could have been the answer and why, okay, inshallah. So now come back to istifham now. So ma and man. Ma and man. What do you think about ma and man? How do you translate? Ma is translated as what? Man is translated as who, right? When it comes to kaifa, how do you translate kaifa? How? Very good job. When it comes to mata, how do you translate mata? Very good job. You translate it as when. So ma is what? Man is who? Kaifa is how? Mata is when? Ayana is when? And aina is going to be, very good job. Aina is going to be where? And when it comes to anna, how do you translate it? Some are saying how, some are saying from where. So do you notice on my slide, I have a black and I have a red here. So I'm trying to match it with mata, ayana, aina, and in the same category, when you treat it as from where, it follows mata, ayana, aina, anna. When it is translated as how, it is treated as kaifa. Is this clear to all of you? Why is it half black and half red? Alhamdulillah. Are you all with me? Are you able to understand it? Inshallah. So now I have to tell you one more thing. I should take this slide little with the rest of the isms. Okay. Okay, here. Okay. So remember, we have divided our asmaul istifham into 3 groups. We learned that, they are going to be divided in 3 groups, right? They are going to be ma'man, which are for akil and ghair akil. Then there is this group where kaifa is also sitting, because pretty much it is, when it comes to the i'rab, it is treated the same way as mata, aina, ayana, anna. But there are some differences which we are going to learn in today's session. When it comes to come and ayu, do you know where to put them? Do you know how to label them? So I want you to look at this slide of mine. Do you all see that ayu is a word that has a mudaf ilayhi after it, right? Ayu is a special mudaf. You have learned it as a special mudaf, right? When it's mudaf ilayhi is denoting a ghair akil, treat it like ma. How will you treat it as? You will treat it like ma when its mudaf ilayhi is ghair akil. Okay, ghair akil, treat it like ma. When its mudaf ilayhi is akil, how will you treat it? You will treat it like man. When its mudaf ilayhi is denoting zarf zaman, a noun of time, you are going to treat it as mata. When it is denoting zarf makan, it is going to be aina. When it is denoting hal, then you treat it like kaifa. You don't see it being treated, being taking mudaf ilayhi, that can denote a hal. So that is not a problem for us in Quran because we are learning Quranic Arabic grammar. So that is not usually the case. So we are good that way. But if it's mudaf ilayhi is denoting hal, then you treat it like kaifa. Okay. One good thing about ayu is, what is one good thing about ayu? Can somebody remind me? When you compare it to the rest of asmaul istifham, yes, one, okay, so it comes as mudaf, but what is good thing about it? I want you to know one, I want you to tell me, yes, Asham, very good job. You are on roll today. So when it comes to ayu, I'm going to take this one, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to put it here because this is a very important information because it is mu'arrab. So you can easily figure out its role, right? It's easy to figure out its role in any given sentence, right? It is mu'arrab, right? It changes its i'rab. It is going to be, when it is going to act like ma man, it is going to be with rough status. When it is going to act like mata aina, it's going to be nasbin status with kaifa. When it's going to act like kaifa, what is going to be the status of ayu? Which haraka will it carry? It's going to be nasbin status. It's going to carry a fatha on top of it. So that way you will be able to figure out its function very easily. Is this clear to all of you? Alhamdulillah, my dear sisters. Now look at come. Look at come. And in this al-majmu'atu salisa, where there was ayu, and you determine the role of ayu based on its mudaf ilayhi. When it comes to kam al-istifhamiyya, its role is determined by the tamyiz that it takes. So based on the tamyiz of kam, do you remember that kam comes with the tamyiz? Do you all remember that? We have covered that topic, alhamdulillah, in Surah Taha. We went into the detail of it, and I gave you a small short series on that as well, so that, you know, for those students who are really interested in learning and going back to stuff, it is easy for them to just review from that recording. So come, al-istifhamiyya takes a tamyiz, and if it's a tamyiz has to do with ghair aqil, you will treat it as ma. If its tamyiz denotes aqil, treat it like man. If it is denoting zarf zaman or zarf makan, then mata and aina is going to is the way you are going to treat your kam. How many of you have understood it so far? Type 1 if it is easy for you. That you are going to look at the tamyiz of kam and you will label it accordingly. Okay? Inshallah. So let's see here. The definitions of all these asmaul istifham. What happened to my, okay. I'm going to show you some examples. Just give me few minutes, okay? Inshallah. So when you have man, yutlabu biha ta'yinul uqala'i. So what do we determine with man? We seek to specify an eminent subject, one who has an intellect, right? Man yarzuqukum. So man is man istifhamiyya. Man is istifhamiyya, and it is asking a question about a being of an intellect, right? When it comes to ma, it is sometimes can be used to know the meaning of a word. Yutlabu biha sharhul ism, just a meaning of a word. Ma hazal qalamu. What is this pen? Meaning, what does it mean? So the response is going to be, it is a writing utensil. Does it make sense that sometimes ma can be literally used to learn the meaning of a word? Yutlabu biha sharhul ismi aw haqiqatul musamma. You can it can deal with the reality of something, deals with the makeup or reality of something. Do you ever see ma being used for uqala in Quran? Have you ever seen? Yes, because, and my slide has the example too. Ma ashabul yamin, ma ashabul maymana. It is, yes, Suratul Waqiya has this example. So is it for ghair aqil? Is ma being used for ghair aqil or is it used for aqil? When it is used for aql, the purpose is to know, to ask about reality of something. Haqiqatul musamma. So what is being asked with ma here? The reality of someone. Okay? Is this clear? When it can also be used to know about the condition of an individual or a thing. Remember that. It can also be used to know about the condition of an individual or a thing. So, ma hazal qalamu can also mean, what is this pen? Meaning, what is its condition? And response can be, it's a good pen, or it's working. It's a working pen. Is it making sense? Right? Okay. The second word that we have in our small istifham is mata. Remember, mata is a ism istifham that is used for zarf zaman. And I have two definitions here, so don't get confused. It's the same thing. Yutlabu biha ta'yinu zaman al-mustaqbil. No, this is wrong here. This is not meant to be here. This is for, let me, here. No, this is wrong. Mata is for both. Mata is for both madin and mustaqbal. Is this clear to all of you? Seeking to specify time, and it can be past or future. Are you all with me? You can ask by using mata the time, which can refer to past and future. Past and future. Okay? When it comes to ayana, it is specific for future. Okay? For example, yasalunaka anis sa'a ayana mursaha. Ayana mursaha. So here you can see when is it going to be established? When will be the appointed time? Are you noticing this will be the appointed time? Can you all notice that? For ayana, remember, it is specific for mustaqbal. It is specific for mustaqbal. Okay? It is for future. Okay? But mata can be used for past and future. Easy? When it comes to aina, it is to specify a place. By using aina, you ask about a place. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Then where are you going? So this where, how is it, aina is going to be treated? It is the adatul istifham by which you are asking about a place of something. You want to know a specific place. Is this clear? Yutlabu biha tayinul makan. Okay? When it comes to come, you have learned about it. It is used for seeking to specify an ambiguous amount, how much or how many. Remember, when it comes to kam al istifhamiya, yutlabu biha ta'yinu adadin mubham. You ask with it, by using this adatul istifham, you want to know, a speaker wants to know the number that is ambiguous, that is unknown to that person. Okay, so here, kam labistum fil ardi adada sinin. So here you have come labistum fil ardi adada sinin. So what do you think? What are you doing with this come? You are asking by using this come an unknown number of times. How many years did you stay on the earth? Right? How many years did you stay on the earth? So with come, you want to know about an unknown number or unknown amount. The last one, you use it to specify one out of two in an affair. So which one of you has done this? Which one of you is better in terms of their deeds, right? So it's a comparison between two parties, usually. Is it clear to you all that ayu is comparing two groups, two parties? And here from Quran, we have an example. Ayul fariqaini ahakku bil amn which of the two parties has more right to be in this insecurity? Make sense? That which of the two parties? So by using a you, you got an idea, that this is, making a comparison between two groups. And fariqaini, how many? When it comes to fariqaini, how many? What's the number here? It is denoting a dual, right? Because the ya is ya. What type of ya is there? Yaul Arab is ya linear, right? The last one is kaifa. Last one is kaifa and anna. Kaifa yutlabu biha tayinul hal. By using this tool, you learn the condition of something. Kaifa takfuruna billahi wa kuntum amwatan fa ahyakum. How in the world you can deny Allah while you were dead and He gave you life, right? So kaifa is translated as how, right? Anna has three meanings. Anna has three meanings. It can have a meaning of zarf makan, min aina. So when in Quran you see qala ya maryamu anna laki haza, from where for you is this? So anna, how is it translated? Is it not translated as min aina? From where do you get these fruits of, from where are you getting these out of season fruits, oh Maryam? Right? So there you notice that anna has a meaning of min aina. It can have a meaning of mata. It can have a meaning of mata, like anna taqumu, when will you stand? It can have a meaning of how, and you have seen it very many times in Quran. So it is an ism istifham bimani kaifa as well. And here you can see qala anna yuhyi hadhihi. I'm sorry, I have to just enlarge it. Hadhihi Allahu ba'da mautiha. So how in the world will Allah give this life after its death? So here you notice that anna is treated as kaifa. It has a meaning of kaifa and it's going to be treated as kaifa. Is this clear to all of you? Type 1 if you're not sleeping and are listening. And alhamdulillah. Okay. Now, one more thing I want you to know. I want you to know that, sometimes, according to some grammarians, if your word anna in Quran is followed by fail, and this can be fail nakis or fail tam, it is a meaning of kaifa. It will most likely going to have meaning of kaifa. Otherwise, it will have meaning of min aina. In the first example, is anna followed by fail? No. So how is it translated? It has a meaning of min aina, right? Last example, anna yuhyi. Anna yuhyi. How is it translated? It is translated as how, and you notice it is being followed by a fail, right? So when it is followed by a fail, you can translate it as kaifa, according to grammarians. If it is it's not followed by fail, then it can have a meaning of min aina. Okay, so this can be used as a simple trick to figure out how I'm going to treat my kaifa now, my anna now. Is this clear to all of you? Without any further delay, I'm going to take a deep dive in ma al-istifhamia that we have already understood before. So ma al-istifhamia, we know it is an ism. It can have all three statuses. It can be fi mahalli rafa mubtada or khabar. It can be fi mahalli nasbin mafulun bihi, and it can be fi mahalli jar, right? Anytime when it comes to ma al-istifhamia, we know it belongs to the category of ma that is an ism, right? We call it an ism istifham, right? So that is why we are saying, since it is an ism, it can have all three statuses, right? When you learned about mal istifhamia, if it is going to be attacked by harf jar, what happens to ma? This is a very small piece of information that you most have already learned before. It's easy for you. Ma is going to lose its alif when attacked by harf jar. anytime it has harf jar before it, it's going to lose its alif. When it comes to Arab of ma and man, they are very similar in Arab. But just focusing on ma, if you want to focus on ma at this time, anytime you have an ism that is nakira after ma, you are going to call it mubtada. But if it is an ism that is marifa, how will you treat ma? It can be treated both ways. It can be a mubtada or khabar. Remember that it can be khabar or mubtada. Both can be right answers. Okay, if somebody call it khabar muqaddam, that's going to be fine. If somebody calls it mubtada, that's going to be the right answer. It can be treated both ways. When ma is followed by ism marifa, it can be treated both ways. If it is followed by fail lazim, if it is followed by, so just focus on this slide. What are the three options your ma has? Either it can be mubtada, it can be khabru kana, or it can be mafulun bihi. There are the three options only. If it is after, if after it is fail lazim, it is going to be mubtada. Is there anything that you don't understand by this statement? Fail lazim, can it ever take maful? When you have fail lazim, you will not expect a mafulun bihi with fail lazim. So you don't even think about mafulun bihi, right? So it is rightly understood. It should be rightly understood in this, that, if it is fail lazim that is following ma is only going to be mubtada. There are no other options. You cannot call it khabru kana nas when there is fail lazim that has nothing to do with kana wa akhwatuha. You will not even think about mafulun bihi because fail lazim does not take mafulun bihi. When you have shubhu jumla after it, for example, malakum, mali haza, you are going to label ma as mubtada. You are going to label ma as mubtada when it is followed by shubhu jumla, right? If it is followed by ism marfa, can be khabar. We already covered it. If it is followed by fail naqis that has its khabar mentioned, that already has its khabar mentioned, it's again going to be mubtada. And if it is followed by fail mabni lil majhool, it's going to be mubtada. Because fail mabni lil majhool, can it take mafulun bihi? Mabni lil majhool, and can, it can't, mabni lil majhool can take mafulun bihi. It can take maful. Remember, those afal that are mutaaddi mafulain can take mafulun bihi. Those, mabni afal can take mafulun bihi because their pronoun is going to be naibul file, and then because they have ability to take two maful bihis. Those afal that can take two maful bihis, they can have maful bihi after them in their passive state. But remember, if the fail is mabni lil majhool, in this case you are just going to label your ma as mubtada. Just treat it as mubtada. Okay, don't think too much about it. Okay. If it is followed by fail mutaaddin istawfi maf'ulahu, that already has its maf'ulun bihi, then you're going to treat ma as mubtada, right? And this has been covered before. If your ma has fail naqis, which does not have its khabar after it, fail naqis that does not have a khabar, you are going to label ma as fi mahalli nasbin khabru kana wa akhwatuha. If there is a fail mutaaddi that does not have its mafulun bihi, mentioned, just call it mafulun bihi muqaddam. And in this case, what should be added to mafulun bihi muqaddam? Should it be wujuban or jawazan? When we label ma as mafulun bihi muqaddam, is it muqaddam wujuban or jawazan? It is wajib. So I'm going to call it wujuban, right? It is wujuban muqaddam in that case. When it comes to man and istifhamia, it's going to be easy now because you have examples as well. Iza talaha failul lazim إذا تلاها فعل اللازم, you are going to call it مبتدا. You are going to call it, its إعراب are going to be مبتدا. إذا تلاها فعل المتعدد استوفي مفعوله, when فعل متعدد follows it, that has its مفعول, you are going to label it again as مبتدا because the فعل is already engaged. Remember, it already has its شاغل attached. So you are going to label this man as مبتدا. إذا تلاها فعل ناقص استوفي خبره, when فعل ناقص follows it, that has its خبر, again you are going to label man as مبتدا. من كان يضحك. So kana is following man, and kana has its khabar. Yadhaku jumla failya failun mudari fi mahalli nasbin. So man in this case is going to be mubtada. When man is followed by ism nakira, how will you label man? When man is followed by ism nakira, it is going to be mubtada only. But now, if you have an ism after it that is marifa, like Rabbus Samawati, is it marifa? Is it proper? It is marifa, it is mu'arraf bil idafa. So in this case, it can be, man can be mubtada, or it can be khabar muqaddam. It can be treated as khabar muqaddam, right? After it, if there is a shubu jumla, which is jar wal majroor or zarf, man indak, who has, then in that case, you are going to label man as mubtada. When after it is a jumla ismiya, man huwa muallimuka is jumla ismiya, you are going to label man as mubtada. And this whole jumla ismiya is going to be its khabar. Is this clear to all of you? Inshallah? Because this whole jumla ismiya is the khabar of man, my dear students. Okay. Now I have a message from, okay, so is alhamdulillah. Now your man, if it does not have, if it is followed by fail muta'addin, that does not have its maf'ul. In that case, man is going to be maf'ulun bihi, muqaddam, and in that man yuhibbu, man nasara, this man maf'ulun bihi, muqaddam. And what type of taqdeem is this? Is it wajib or jais? W or J? It is going to be taqdeem, that is muqaddam. It is going to be muqaddam. The next case is إذا تلاها فعل ناقص لم يستوفي خبره. من يكون ضيف. Who are the guests? Man is going to be now, you have yakunu, ad-daifu is ismu kana, and man is going to become khabru, it's going to be khabru kana. And here again, when it comes to taqdeem wa ta'khir, is it taqdeem wujuban or jawazan? It's khabru it's going to be khabru kana, right? It's khabru kana fi mahalli nasbin, khabru kana fi mahalli nasbin. It is khabar of kana fi mahalli nasbin, and the taqdeem in this case is wajib, right? Ma and man, wajib. Then comes sometimes man istifhamiya and ma istifhamiya, both can have harf jar attached to them, right? Amma yatasaalun, and in that case they are going to be fi mahalli jar. So here we have example for man, laminil mulkul yawm. So it is limanil mulkul yawm. So li jar wal majroor, man is jar in status. Liman uqbad dari, man is jar in status. It is going to be jar in status if there is an ism nakira which is mudaf before it, kitabu man qara'ta, and it is going to be jar because it is a mudaf ilayhi in this case. When there is a ism that is nakira before it and is gair munawwan, it is going to be mudaf ilayhi for that ism, and it's going to be jar in status. Is this clear to all of you? That how ma and man can be rafa nasb and jar. When it comes to mata, ayyana, aina, anna, ayu, come, I will yeah, so okay, so and this anna, we are thinking of this anna, when anna is acting like min aina. Do you understand that? When anna acts like min aina, it's going to belong to the same category as mata, ayana, aina. And ayu and kam are going to fall in this category when mudaf ilayhi of ayu has to do with zarf zaman or zarf makan, or tamyiz of kam has to do with zaman or makan. Is this clear to all of you? When tamyiz of kam has to do with time and place, when mudaf ilayhi of ayu has to do with time and place, in that case, you will put them in the same category as mata, ayana, aina. Okay? With ayu, things will be easy because it is mu'arrab. It's going to show you its status. But with the rest of them, since they are either mabni al sakoon or mabni al fatha, you have to figure out what their role is, right? Since they are, all of them except for ayu are mabni, you need to know what their role is, right? You cannot figure out they are mubtada, they are khabar, they are this, they are fi mahalli nasbin mafulun bihi, they are khabru kana, right? You have to know, you have to learn their exact era. So for that, if you have an ism following this category, and remember, when I'm saying putting anna, ayu come in the same category as mata, ayana, aina, it means that they have to do with time and place. I hope this is clear to all of you if you are all awake. So when it is followed by some marifa, you are going to label ayana, anna, aina, ayu or come as muta'alliq bil khabar. It's going to be muta'alliq bil khabar because it's a zarf. So ayana mursaha, ayana mursaha, ayana muta'alliq bil khabar muqaddam, mursaha mubtada muakhar. Anna anna haza, anna muta'alliq bil khabar muqaddam, haza mubtada muakhar. Anna lahum dhikra, anna is going to be muta'alliq bil khabar muqaddam, الذكرى مبتدا مؤخر. أين المفر؟ أين المفر is going to be أين متعلق بالخبر مقدم, and المخفر is going to be مبتدا مؤخر. How many of you are with me so far? You have to go back to these tables and you have to, try to make sure that you spend some time with this. You have to go back to this recording to memorize everything. I'm giving you this disclaimer. This is not going to be possible without you going back. If somebody is thinking that me showing you these slides, I cannot tell you how many hours I have spent on creating these slides. These are from 1,000 different sources. I cannot, and I admit that I'm a very weak person. I don't have that high of an intellect, but I'm, for those of you who want to learn this topic by heart, or by you really want to have the understanding of this topic, they have to go back to these slides and the recording again. Okay, inshallah. So if you have a mata, ayana, aina, anna, ayu, come, have to do something with time and place, the last category has to do with time and place, you are going to call it fi mahali nasb khabar if there is a fail naqis after it that does not have its khabar. For example, mata yakunu talaqi, yakunu is fail naqis, at talaqi is ismu fail naqis, mata is going to be fi mahali nasb khabru kana. Is this clear to all of you? It's going to be, you can treat it as fi mahalli nasb khabru kana. If you have mata, ayana, aina, anna, ayyukam, and the anna, ayyukam have to do with time and place, and they are followed by fail tam, or fail naqis that has its khabar mentioned after them, you are going to label them as either mafulun fihi or muta'alliq bil fail. Ayyana yub'asun, you are going to label it as muta'alliq bil fail, or you can call it mafulun fihi. Fa aina tazhabun, aina is going to be mafulun fihi or muta'alliq bil fail. Tazhabun is your fail mudare marfu bi sabut an-nun li'annahu min al-af'al al-khamsa wal fa'il damir muttasil baris wabil jamaa. Okay, is this clear to all of you? This one is done. Okay, now the last one. Alhamdulillah. My dear sisters, you will notice, and inshallah, I want you to, by the end of the session, I'm going to show you something, inshallah, and that will make so much sense, inshallah. So you have in this category, kaifa, anna, ayu. And this is when they are denoting hal. Kaifa, easy, it's always for hal. Anna, when it is followed by fail, has to do with hal. Ayu, if it's the years has to do with hal, it's going to be hal. For ayu, Arab are easy because it is mu'arrab. But for kaifa anna, you have to focus on this slide. You are going to treat your kaifa as fi mahali rafa khabar muqaddam when you see after it ism marifa. إذا جاء بعدها اسم المعرفة, you are going to call it fi mahali rafa khabar muqaddam. Kaifa haluk, kaifa is going to be khabar fi mahali rafa khabar muqaddam. Haluk is going to become مبتدا مؤخر. What is the hukum of taqdeem wa ta'khir in this sentence? Wajib, wajib, wajib. And why so? Why so? You remember your al-mujmu'atu saniya when you were learning taqdeem wa ta'khir of khabar in jumlatul ismiya, you have learned that this is from the word for which there is sadaratul kalam, right? This is a word kaifa, and all your al majmuatu saniya are going to be khabar muqaddam wujuban, because these words have sadaratul kalam. When you have kaifa anna ayu and they are denoting hal, and after them you see fail naqis that does not have its khabar, and you see it so many times in Quran, kaifa kana akibatul mukazzibin. Kana akibatul mukazzibin. Do the i'rab of kana akibatul mukazzibin. Kana fail naqis madin, right? Right? Nasikh akibatu ismu kana al mukazzibina mudafun ilayhi. Right? Do you have khabru kana here in this sentence? Is there any khabar? You do. This kaifa is going to become your khabru kana muqaddam, and this taqdeem is also going to be wajib because it has sadaratul kalam, right? Is this clear? Anytime you have kaifa followed by nakis, treat it as khabru kana muqaddam fi mahalli nasbin if it does not have its khabar attached. But what happens? What happens if you see kaifa and after it is coming fail tam? Kaifa yahkumun. We just did suratul qalam. Or you have kaifa and after it is fail naqis that has its khabar. In that case, you are just going to treat your kaifa as fi mahalli nasbin hal. Right? Easy? I hope it is easy. For me, it was not. Okay. So now what your job is to go through slides again and again, and this is, this has been summarized for you in one slide, that when the collections of these asmaul istifham has been put together like this, because I could have put anna and sorry kaifa in the previous slide, but then there was a problem here in the third column. In third column I cannot put the entire mujmuatu saniya, so therefore I had to put kaifa separately, like arabul istifham allati tadallu ala hal. They are the ones that denote hal. You put them separately, and you're going to learn their arab like this. When you have mata, ayana, aina, anna, ayu come, that have to do with time and place, you treat them like this. Okay? And the rest one, ma and man, you have already covered before. Okay? So here I want you to see this. Before I end the session, I want you to see this one here. And I am okay. So 1:50. Class is over. Okay. So this one. كيف إذا جمعناهم ليوم لا ريب فيه. Do you think something is missing here after kaifa? Just think about the translation. Let me show you the translation of this as well. What's happening here? So how will it be when we assemble them for a day about which there is no doubt? Do you kaifa idha jama'nahum? This is a case where in translation by Ustaza Farhat Hashmi, you are going to find this translated as very good job Zora, very good job Zora. I'm very proud of you. So no, there is you got some, there is something missing, but it's not khabar. So let me tell you, فكيف حالهم فكيف حالهم إذا جمعناهم ليوم لا ريب فيه. Now think about it. Is something missing? Whatever is missing is your mubtada. Mubtada, right? हालुहुम, क्या हाल होगा उनका जब हम जमा करेंगे उन्हें उस दिन जिसमें कोई शक नहीं. What will be their condition when we will gather them for a day in which there is no doubt at all? Do you notice there was haluhum, that has been omitted. So kaifa is going to be khabar muqaddam wujuban for mubtada mahzuf, and this is going to be seen in very many verses, my dear sisters, because we do word to word, alhamdulillah, to for Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. And my special thanks to my sister who arranges these sessions for word to word. And this gives us so much opportunity to learn so many things, Alhamdulillah, where we know that when there is something missing in our translation, we need to look for that and learn from there, right? So now when I see here, kaifa idha jama'nahum, so sister Zarina and myself, Alhamdulillah, we have this verse back in when we were doing Surat Ali Imran. So I remember asking her. She asked me, how will we label it, and she knew, it seems like that that there was something missing here from the translation, and because Ustaza has Alhamdulillah translated as kya hal hoga unka, and she has parenthesized that hal hoga unka. So that way, I always remember that there's a kaifa there and there is mubtada that has been omitted from there, and because this is going to be seen in very many times, so make sure that you know that there is haluhum omitted from here. Kaifa iza ji'na. So here again, you can consider that there is haluhum, or that has been omitted, right? So क्या हाल होगा उनका जब हम जमा करेंगे हर उम्मत को, and when we'll bring a shaheed for every ummah, right? So keep that in mind that in that case, if there is a mubtada omitted, kaifa is again going to be your khabar muqaddam wujuban, because it is from the words for which there is sadaratul kalam. Now if you see kaifa yahdillahu, how will you label this kaifa? It is from the third column. It is going to be simply when you see kaifa and after it you see tam, fail tam, don't worry about anything. Call it hal. Call it hal. Anytime kaifa, fail tam after it, call it hal. Call it hal. Is this clear to all of you? You are going to label your kaifa as hal of the sentence. How many of you have understood this? Alhamdulillah, Aisha, you're good with that now. Anytime you have kaifa and you're noticing here, and mostly you are seeing a fail after it, but then idha also comes after it as well. So how will you label idha then when you have kaifa haluhum idha asabathum musiba? How will you label idha there? It's going to be zar. It's going to be again, it can be labeled as muta'alliq bil khabar of the sentence that we have kayfa haluhum iza asabathum musiba bima qaddamat aydihim, right? We can call this whole chunk as muta'alliq bil, because iza is going to be treated as zarf zaman li mustaqbil or madin, both it can be used sometimes for madin too, but it is Most of the time it is going to be for future, sorry, for present future, but sometimes can come for madin as well. Okay, so now so I have five I have 5 more minutes. No. Oh. Oh, I have crossed my time. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, I have to end the session here. I know it was such a heavy session. You must be waiting. I'm sorry. So I will end the session here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear sisters. Take care.